Hola chicos, este video es para una introducción a la semana número 7. Tenemos muchas cosas que hacer esta semana. Primero tenéis un poco de tarea el lunes. El lunes tenéis tarea para los verbos reflexivos. Entonces debéis mirar la tutoría en el Supersite, ¿sí? La tutoría que demuestra cómo usar los verbos reflexivos. Y yo voy a mirar si voy a hacer otro video para ayudar también. También esta semana tenéis el examen oral y tenéis también la composición número 1. Entonces, os voy a explicar un poco de cómo son estos. A ver. Entonces, bueno, aquí estamos en el curso. Entonces, tenéis el examen oral. Esta semana no tenéis la conversación de Zoom, ¿sí? Vais a hacer una conversación como un examen oral, ¿sí? Entonces, podéis ir allí, mirar las direcciones, ¿sí? Y tengo las direcciones en inglés, ¿sí? Entonces, y voy a hablar de eso en inglés. So for your oral exam, you're pairing up from someone from your chat group. So you are going to decide with other people in your chat group what kind of groups you're going to make for your oral exam. So if you have a chat group that is 6 people, then you're going to have 3 groups of 2, or if you have a chat group that's 5 people, you're going to do a group of 3 and a group of 2. So decide who you want to chat with and who you want to do your oral exam with. You can decide if you want to do your oral exam at the same time that your Zoom chat usually meets at. So if you want to do that, that's fine, because you're going to be in separate rooms anyway. So if you pair up with somebody who is not usually your group leader, your chat group leader, one of the 2 of you is going to make a chat room and send the other one the link. And you're going to decide on a time. Like I said, you can still keep your same time if you want to, just because you already know that that's a time that you can usually do it at. And so you're going to do it there. So anyway, read the directions. They're all in English. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what you have to do. I also have included the rubric so you can see how you're going to be graded. So you're graded on the content, the comprehensibility, can I understand what you're saying, the vocabulary usage, your grammatical accuracy, the naturalness of speech, and your pronunciation. You're basically coming up with questions for each other, and you're asking and answering questions based on the vocabulary and grammatical themes that you have for this chapter. When you get done with it, rather than like with your Zoom chats, you load them in Kaltura Media Gallery, you're going to load your chat in the assignment. So you're loading it as part of the assignment, and only the chat leader needs to do that. So if you're in a pair, or if you're in a trio, only the person who recorded it needs to upload it to me. I'm going to view it, and then I'm going to grade all 3 of you and fill out this rubric in your, as your assignment. But I only need the chat itself loaded once, because I'm only going to listen to it from one person. So anyway, that's for your oral exam. It's due by next Sunday night. So decide how you want to do it, when you want to do it. The other thing that you have this week is the composition. And I have several components in here. One, I have the directions on what you're writing about, and we'll look at that in a minute. But I also have a couple other documents here about setting Spanish spell check on your computer, typing accents, and a composition correction key. So this one, the setting Spanish spell check, I want you to use the tools that you have available to you. You can use your book, you can use the vocabulary from your book. And spell check is a great tool, so it's going to let you know if you're missing an accent. Sometimes it's not going to catch everything, because you might write me and maybe it doesn't recognize that you wanted the me with an accent, and you did the me meaning my without an accent. So you still have to really check what you're writing. It is not going to fix everything, but it's a tool. Typing accents, make sure you look at that. It tells you how to type accents on a Mac or on a PC, so it tells you how to do that. And then there's the composition correction key. So just type it in as a Word document, and then same thing. When you're done with it, you're going to load it into the assignment. You're going to add it as an attachment into the assignment. The composition correction key is for afterwards. So you're going to write this first version. You should not spend an extensive amount of time writing it. When we do this for the face-to-face classes, they get a half an hour after they find out what the composition is and have read it and gone over it as a group, like this is what the topic is. They have a half an hour to write it and load it. So it's really not that long. You don't need to spend an extensive amount of time writing it. I also want to make it very, very clear that this needs to be your work. If it looks like it's something that has been gone through Google Translate, you cannot use anything like that. Don't use it as a dictionary. Don't use it to translate whole phrases, single words, none of that. So if I think that if there are things in there that really are super complicated and in no way show what other work that you've done in the class, you'll get a 0 on it. Okay, this has to be your work. And what will impress me the most is if you write this using the vocabulary, because I've designed it for this vocabulary, for this grammar that we've had so far. So what will impress me is if you are able to use what we have learned and put that together into a cohesive composition. So the composition is actually based on a reading that you're going to do Monday for Monday. So you definitely need to take a look at that. So, composición 1, basado en tu lectura de cultura or cultura. So there's a reading about bullfighting that's in Enfoques. So like I said, you're going to be doing some activities based on it and have to read it by Monday. So so if you're going to write this composition, if you decide to write it this weekend, you can do that, but you need to do the reading first and maybe do the activities on that so you know what it's about. You're going to write a composition. It's not even that long. 12 a 15 oraciones. Explicas tu opinión de esta tradición. So you're talking about bullfighting, and here are some different topics that you can talk about, things that you want to go over. ¿Te gustaría asistir a una corrida? ¿Qué opinas del duelo? So, if you need to use a dictionary to look up a word here or there, that's okay, but you don't want to try to write something that is way above your level. Okay, use as much of what you know as you can. So anyway, after you write this one and upload it, when I grade it, I'm going to grade it and mark some of your errors. If it's a vocabulary, and that's why the other key that I have in there, this composition correction key, is really for the revision. So after I grade this and you're going to get a grade on it, you're going to fix the problems with it and resubmit. So your grade, so you have 2 grades, it counts equally, but you have 2 grades on this composition. And each one I grade a little bit differently. So the first composition that you write, I grade it a lot heavier on your content and your organization and comprehensibility, and not so harshly on your grammar and vocabulary. On the second version though, now that when you've had a chance to do a revision, then I grade it stronger on those things. Your content and organization still count, but not quite as much. And your grammar and vocabulary accuracy count for more than they did in the first composition. So anyway, those are the major things that you have to do. The composition, the oral exam, I said just have it be, I think in the calendar it says to have it done Thursday, but for the oral exam, really, since it's taking the place of your Zoom chat, it's okay for anybody that chats on the weekend or whatever, you can do it then. The composition is due on the 8th, so it's due on Thursday. So I want it to be turned in on Thursday. So, and that's the only homework that you have for Thursday. You don't have additional book work to do, so that's it. So anyway, if you have any problems or issues, just drop me a line.